The subject of race and protesting in sports was discussed in a special event held at the Elliott Elementary School on April 9th. Presented by the Needham's Diversity Initiative, there were 3 featured speakers, William Smith, Bill Littlefield, and Jim Hirsch, all of whom shared their experiences with the community.
If you're white in America, it's very easy to be optimistic about race relations. And even though I've written a lot about race in America, I've never presumed to understand what it's truly like to live that experience.
There has always been protest vis-a-vis sports is not new to black athletes, and not even going back, to the Olympics salute.
Muhammad Ali protesting specifically black soldiers being sent to Vietnam, dying at a greater rate, being put at greater risk, where they would come home and still not have the opportunity to eat in some restaurants. And the kind of protest we're seeing now is very specific protest to the murder of black citizens in the street by police officers. The people who say, well, they're disrespecting the flag, they're disrespecting the military, they're disrespecting the country. No, all these protests have been very specific. That's why they say the names of the victims of the violence.
Well, and what's also striking is how tame the protests are. I don't know if this is a sign of progress, maturity, or maybe they were better off tearing things down in the 60s. I don't know, probably not, because that just left mayhem and bloodshed.
Colin Kaepernick, this is a guy who gave up his career.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he knew by taking a knee that he would be making himself a pariah throughout the NFL. There's a very strong feeling that the reason he didn't get a job after he took a knee was because nobody wanted the baggage that they perceived him as carrying.
The euphemism was that he would be a distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, interestingly enough, the fact that some 30-odd% of the guys who play in the National Football League will end up with chronic brain damage is not a distraction. That doesn't distract anybody Sunday after Sunday. Excuse me, that's my pet project.
A part of what I think is what's happening with white America, particularly those people who have deep-seated racial feelings. They are, oh hell, and they're doing everything possible to hold on to that way. If they were optimistic, they wouldn't say that. They would allow the expression of a person to speak their minds about any issue, whether it's law enforcement or politically. On the other side, that as America and as Americans, we need to look at the better in us. It just doesn't stop with the fact that we're protesting a situation that's unjust, but that, in fact, we're really pursuing something beyond that. We're pursuing what we all seem to lose sight of, and that's that beloved community that Dr. King spoke about.